Hello, everybody. Good evening. I want to welcome everybody to our first annual Facebook Live Customer Appreciation Watercare Seminar. I'm Warren Yudlowski, the General Manager of Beachcomber Hot Tubs and Patio, and it's great to be able to continue this long-standing tradition that we've had over the many years of hosting these informative watercare seminars. And obviously during these unusual and unique times, this is going to be something that's quite unique. By the way, please feel free as I'm going through tonight's seminar to make comments, say hello. We want to know who's all out there tonight because we're hoping to get a lot of Beachcomber customers and Beachcomber followers here tonight, and hopefully be able to give you some information that's going to help you to enjoy your hot tub even more. So today was supposed to be, by the way, our Customer Appreciation Night at our Southside location, and obviously due to what's gone on with the COVID-19 scenario, we're unable to have that night. But what we've done is tried to continue a lot of these traditions, and one of them was our tiered savings program that we did mail out to all our customers, as well as making sure that you can continue to save money on your watercare orders up to 30%. And what I'm announcing tonight, by the way, so everybody knows, we're going to continue this program, this promotion, all the way until Sunday evening. Over the last 5 weeks, we've been extremely appreciative of our existing customer base and new Beachcomber hot tub owners for their support and helping us to work through these, I guess I call it the new normal now at Beachcomber. We've worked really diligently to try to keep our stores safe and properly sanitized while continuing to keep up with a multitude of curbside as well as delivery water care orders. And again, thanks to everyone for all your patience as we try to work through, as I said, this new normal at Beachcomber Edmonton. Well, let's try to now get to why we're all here tonight, why we tuned in, water care and water chemistry. Here's my quick agenda for tonight. First, I'm going to talk about the two most popular water care programs that we've had for many, many years here at Beachcomber Edmonton. Next, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the frequently asked questions, and it's been something over the years that I've put into my seminars. I've had customers asking questions, and I've heard over my 26 years numerous things, and I'm going to take the top 5 or 6 that I continue to hear year after year. Then next, I'm going to introduce some of the new and exciting I guess products that we have at Beachcomber, things that are going to make your life easier in helping to maintain your new Beachcomber hot tub. And lastly, and I hope we get a lot of questions tonight, I've got Shelly and Sean here working with me, and they're going to be feeding me some of these questions that you asked. So at the end, I'm going to say 15-20 minutes to answer any questions you've got and allow you to give your feedback, and hopefully I can do my best to answer them for you. All right, so let's get rolling. I guess first, one of the most unique benefits of dealing with our company over the last 37 years is our focus has not been just on selling hot tubs, but more importantly, what happens after you get that hot tub and making sure that you're looking after that important investment. And our goal has always been here at Beachcomber to maximize the number of clean, clear, soakable days that you can enjoy in that Beachcomber hot tub. So what we tried to focus on, and especially in the last few years, is a couple of key philosophies. Number one, less is more. We've realized over 37 years that there's a lot of alternatives out there looking after your hot tub, and we want to make it as easy and simple as we can so you can spend more time enjoying it and less time maintaining it. And lastly is making things easier and simpler. We've tried to simplify the process, and you're going to hear about the 2 programs here in a few minutes that we focus most of our customers on. I always say if you can count to 3, you can own a Beachcomber hot tub, and we'll talk a bit more about what that means. So first thing I've always said to people over the years, especially when we do our wet starts, and a lot of you know that have had a Beachcomber hot tub, that we do a wet start either at your home or here in the store, depending how far away you live. And I've always said there's 2 things you want to protect. Number one are the people using your hot tub. Obviously, we all know when you get into a hot tub, the pores of your skin open wide open. And one of the things you want to be sure of is that there's not any bacteria in that water. And that's where disinfecting and proper sanitizing comes into play. And we're going to talk about that in our 2 programs today. The second thing you want to protect, obviously, is your investment. And again, we're proud of the fact that we've been a Beachcomber hot tub company now for 37 years. We've sold that same quality Canadian brand. And it continues year after year, month after month to continue to I guess, grow, and we're really proud of that. So we want to make sure that investment, you're looking after it, because as we all know, hot water is corrosive. And if you do nothing to it, it's going to cause you problems down the road. I always make the analogy in comparison to changing your oil and doing regular maintenance on your vehicle. It's no different in a beachcomber hot tub. So let's first talk a little bit about the two key programs that we've continued to use for years. And the first one I want to talk about, which I'm going to say probably in today's world, between our 3 Edmonton and area stores, is probably 80% of our customers. And it's called the Carefree program. And I mentioned earlier about making sure that you can count to 3 before owning a beachcomber. The Carefree program, pretty simply, is 3 products. As you're going to see here, Carefree Boost, Carefree, and Soft. And very simply, this is our chlorine program. Chlorine's been around longer than I've been in this business, and it's still the #1 best and most used sanitizer in Canada. And for those of you who don't know, Health Canada only has 2 sanitizers that are actually approved for usage in our hot tubs. One is chlorine and the other is bromine. And we're going to talk about our ultra salt program here in a few minutes. So very simple. Carefree Boost, sodium dichlor. I always say, my joke always is, if you want to save your marriage or you want to save your relationship, keep this in your nightstand. The #1 problem we have in hot tubs, you're going to hear in a few minutes, can be solved by making sure you've got enough sanitizer in your water. The beauty of Carefree Boost is you can toss it in, and 10 to 15 minutes later, go in and enjoy your hot tub. The second thing you're going to always put in your Carefree program is going to be the Carefree product. And this is an all-in-one, as they call it, a 4-in-1 product. It's got basically 4 different things in it. #1, it's got a calcium inhibitor. So what it helps to do is make sure calcium doesn't stick to the important things like your heating element, your pumps, your plumbing lines, things like that. It's got an enzyme to take away scum, ring, and odor, a clarifier to help coagulate all those fine particles into big ones so your filter can grab it. And lastly, an oxidizer to help remove contaminant and body oils out of the water. And then the last part of this 3-step program is a product called Soft. And we've used Soft now for almost 20 years. And the beauty of Soft, it's got a couple of key benefits. #1, it helps to lock in pH, and we'll talk about pH and how important that is in a few minutes. And the other thing about Soft is great is it also moisturizes your skin and has a beautiful green apple fragrance. And Soft is a product that a lot of people that have never used it before will start using it, and they love it, and it's been fantastic. So that's the Carefree program. There's also people out there that for many years have said, we want to get off chlorine. We want to have something called a non-chlorine program. Well, we've called it bromine, and now we've actually gone ahead and we've labeled it the Ultra Salt program, the Ultra Salt XO program. This is exoenzyme, and this exoenzyme came out a couple of years ago, and it's been a fantastic product. We've had customers that'll come back to us month after month and over the last 2 years and said, my hot tub has never felt and been better since the last 10 to 20 years I've owned it. The beauty of this exoenzyme product, it's a once-a-month routine where everything else is once a week, and I've always told people, pick a day or night that works for you. For me, it's always been Sundays, and I say, spend that 5 to 10 minutes and add the product you need to add to look after and maintain your hot tub. The beauty of exoenzyme, it's once a month. So what you do in exoenzyme, you put this in once a month, and then you get into what we call our ultra salt system. You create your bromine bank by putting in Bromoblast, and then you shock the water, and you actually activate your bromine with something called an ultra shock. And of course, the last step in every program for us is back to that Soft again. So those are the 2 programs that we continue to use, and people that want chlorine program and the program that we know works fantastic, we keep them on Carefree. The other people go to Ultra Salt. All right, I want to talk a little bit about, I guess, the maintenance of your hot tub and why, I guess, balancing the water is so important. A lot of people have heard of pH, and people ask me all the time, why is pH important? Why does it matter? My water's clear and clean. There's lots of sanitizer in it. And I say pH is that key that's going to cause more or less corrosion in your water. What we find in Alberta, especially in the Edmonton area, is having low pH. And a lot of people have asked me, and one of the questions that I'll get to right now, and are frequently asked questions, is why does my pH always seem to go down and I can never get the pH level up? Well, here's what total alkalinity is. And a lot of people have never heard this before. And people have come in over the years and said, is that the only size of pH plus you have? It's just that small little bottle? We'll be through that in 2 weeks. Well, we have something called Resist. And Resist is what raises total alkalinity. Very simply, pH is like a bouncing ball. And on Earth, we have something called gravity. And if you don't ever bring the floor up, which is your total alkalinity, your pH will never stay in line. So my comment is, spend $1 on Resist or total alkalinity increaser instead of $10 on pH increaser. So again, if you ever have problems with your pH level, come into your local beachcomber store. And again, as you're going to hear at the end, we've been doing free water testing for over 35 years. and I'll also show you a brand new product at the end that we've had over the last 6 months, which allows you now to have a Watercare app, and from the comfort of your phone can actually test your water and not have to worry about figuring out what those darn test strips look like once you've done the water sample. All right, I want to talk a little bit about some of the most commonly asked questions. And the first question that I've heard for 26 plus years is, why is my water cloudy? And that seems to be something that people have come to us year after year and month after month saying, I lift the lid in my hot tub, I look at it, and boy, it's cloudy, I don't want to jump in. Well, 90% of that reason is very simple. You need some sanitizer. So if you're on the Carefree program, obviously it's Carefree Boost. And that's really, again, the most important product we have to keep that chlorine level up. If you're on the non-chlorine program or bromine, that's where UltraShock comes in. Shock that water, okay? Make sure that you've got some bromine in that hot tub. And that's, again, the most important part of keeping that water, again, clean and not cloudy. The second part of cloudy water can be filtration. So when people ask, a lot of times the water's perfectly balanced, they've got lots of chlorine or bromine in, what seems to be the problem? Well, what it can be obviously is your filter. And a lot of people have asked me over the years, how long do these darn filters last? So obviously when you get your new Beachcomber hot tub, you get one of our microfilters that comes with the tub. And I've always said, we'll provide everything else that you need, but the only thing you need to purchase is that our second Beachcomber microfilter. These are cleanable, by the way, and a lot of people don't realize that. They take these filters and they say, wow, I throw it out every 3 to 4 months. And of course, we love you to do that because that just makes us money, but you can clean these things. So the beauty of our filters today is once a month. And as I mentioned before, every Sunday I do my once a week water care maintenance. The first Sunday of every month is time to clean the filter. And all you need to do is take this filter out. And we have this wonderful product, which we brought in many years ago, called our Beachcomber Microfilter Cleaning Flask. And with this cleaning flask, what you'll do is you'll take this filter, you'll put it in, you'll pour in some warm water, you'll take a product which was just developed over the last 18 months, and it's been fantastic. We've had super feedback from this product, and it's called Filter Soak. And the beauty of Filter Soak is, once you pour it into the water, you let it soak for only 1 hour. And after 1 hour, you're going to remove your microfilter. And the neat thing about this product is it's actually blue in color. So what happens is the pleats of this filter turn blue. And the advantage of that is when you're hosing it off, or you give it to one of the kids or grandkids that are out the driveway hosing it off, they've got to continue hosing until this filter comes back to that bright white color that you see here today. So great product. And if you look after these filters, you should easily get 18 months out of 2 filters. So again, a great investment. So do that filter cleaning on a monthly basis. The next question people ask all the time, and one of the most commonly asked questions or frequently asked questions is, why is my hot tub foaming? Well, number one thing I'll tell everybody, standard white foam is okay. I mean, you're going to get a little bit of foaming. There's obviously air. Everyone has an air controls in their hot tub. White foam is fine. When your foam gets scummy, brown coloring, those kinds of things, well, then we have another issue. But the number one issue is a lack of sanitizer. So we're back to Carefree Boost, and we're back to bromine again. So if you find that your water's foaming more than normal, get that sanitizer level up. And the levels, again, are 3 to 5 parts per million. And we'll talk a little bit about water testing and that at the end today, and maybe go through some of those basic levels that you need to keep your hot tub at. The other part of foaming, obviously, is soap in the water. One thing I've always mentioned to people, be very careful laundering your swimsuits, because that's just like bringing in soap or bringing in a bar soap in your swimsuit or swim trunks, and that's going to cause more foaming. It may mean that you might have to take the filter out. If your kids or your friends have come in and you've had more than the normal usage, take the filter out, give it a good hosing, get all that excess soap out of that filter, and then do your normal once a month cleaning with your Filter Soak product. The next question that we get all the time is, why does my water have that funny musty smell? And we've heard that for many years. Again, what's the number one reason? A lack of sanitizer. It's funny how it goes back to the same thing again. 90% of water care problems are a lack of sanitizer. And the key is keeping that sanitizer in that 3 to 5 parts per million, and it's going to cure a lot of issues. All right, let's talk about question number 4. And that question a lot of people talk about is a floating dispenser. And for years, I know when I got in this business 26 years ago, everybody had one of those floating dispensers. Again, the mushrooms where you put those discs inside. The Carefree program, when it came out 15 to 20 years ago, was meant to be a program that was a granular program. And I know myself, I was one of the first people in Canada on this Carefree program, and it's been awesome. I've never been easier to maintain my Beachcomber hot tub with using Carefree. And the only time that we put a floating dispenser in is when we go on holidays, because it becomes a granular program. And I put it in 15 to 20 minutes before usage. For me, because I'm in the tub almost every day, it ends up being 3 to 4 times per week. And the only time the floating dispenser goes in is when we go on holidays. And I've always said that's because no one's home to feed the chickens and milk the cows. So we got to make sure we're putting our sanitizer in. When we get home, the floating dispenser goes out and we're back to the grinder program again. And it works fantastically well. Next question. My sanitizer level is high, and I've had that happen where people have put too much sanitizer in, and they're always worried. They're saying, you know, the sanitizer level now is 7, 8, 9, 10. And one of the things we've said is, first thing you can do is obviously, if you're able to, add some fresh water. That'll help dilute it and get those levels down. If you don't have the ability to dilute your water, we have a great product called Neutralizer. And the beauty of Neutralizer is you can put Neutralizer in and take that chlorine or bromine level down instantly, and allow the kids and yourselves to start using the hot tub within minutes of adding it. So the Neutralizer product has been used not just during the 3 to 6 months that you've kept your tub full of water, but most importantly when you go to drain, which we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. And I always say, when you drain your tub, the key is putting Neutralizer, get all that chlorine or bromine out, get your pH in line, get it into that 7.2 to 7.8 range, and take that water wherever you want to drain it to, and it's fine. It will not corrode anything. Next question. How often should I change my water? How often should I change my filter? How often should I clean my filter? Well, water changes when I got in this business were every 3 to 4 months. And part of the reason is we put so darn many products in. And I know there's some people out there right now that are using some of our older products like Pure Zyme, Pure Blue, Eliminate Plus. They're all fantastic products and they do the job and they're terrific. What we've seen in the last 15 years is people want to make it easier and simpler, and that's where the Carefree and this new Ultra Salt program with Exoenzyme has come out, just to make it simpler and easier for people. And what we found is by adding less product to the hot tub, we're able to keep the water in a lot longer. So what we find is most people drain their tubs twice a year. Every spring, for those of you, of course, here in Edmonton, we finally got in spring here within the last week, so I know our stores have been extremely busy with people wanting to come in, purchase their products, get their Eliminate to get their tub started again. And again, as I say, the second time is normally going to be fall. So sometime around Halloween. So a spring and fall drain. And that's the norm for most people. If you're a heavy user, and we have something that we test in our stores through our meters called Total Dissolve Solids. If you're having trouble with your water and your salt level is really high, no problem, drain and fill it. I've told people in the Edmonton area it's less than $10 to fill a Beachcomber hot tub in terms of your water bill. So take the time, get it drained, and get going. One of the other products which I'll mention to you here right now is our quick drain. And a lot of people ask, how long does it take to drain a hot tub? Our drains are gravity fed, as are most drains today. The beauty of this quick drain product, as you can see here, is this quick drain product will take this water out in usually less than a half an hour for an average size Beachcomber hot tub. It's a great product. It's available in all 3 of our stores. If you need to do a quick drain, it works fantastically well. Please stop by and grab one. All right. Let's go on to the next part of this meeting tonight. Let's talk a little about some of the other products. And as I've told people, Beachcomber in the last, especially the last 4 or 5 years, has been right at the forefront of bringing new products into the marketplace and products that make our lives easier. The number one product today is this great little handy little test strip, and it's called the Watercare app. I know I've seen some comments come up on the screen that this Watercare test strip has been phenomenal, and it is. It has revolutionized water testing for us here. Again, I said for 35 plus years, we've done free in-store water testing. And again, as I tell customers, we love to have you come in. We want to see you. We want to get your feedback. We want to see your face and be able to answer the questions face to face with you. But the beauty of this product is you can download the app, whether you've got an iPhone, you've got a tablet, you've got a Samsung, any of those types of things. You can download the app. You can actually dip the strip, read the strip, and it'll actually tell you exactly what you need to add. There's no guessing. There's no trying to figure out what these colors look like on the back and say, well, I think my pH is probably good. It might be 7.6. It might be 6.6. And obviously, we want to make sure pH is in line. And that's what we're going to talk about right now is why pH is so important. pH, as everyone knows, should be in that 7.2 to 7.8 range. And one of the reasons is if pH is lower than 7.2, your water becomes acidic. And what acidity is basically, as I said, it's like pouring acid on the floor. And if you have acid in your hot tub, what's it going to do? It's going to cause corrosion. It's going to corrode the most important parts of your hot tub, which are your heater element, your pumps, your filters, your plumbing lines, all the things that are going to make that hot tub run and keep that hot tub nice and warm for you on those cold winter nights. So we want to make sure we're keeping those levels up. So 7.2 to 7.8 is very important. The second thing is pH at 7.5, by the way, is perfect pH. Why is it perfect in a hot tub? Well, 7.5 is the pH of your eyes and my skin. And I don't want to have red eye irritation or skin irritation, so 7.5 is where we want to keep it. Of course, we keep a range. We don't care about being exact, but 7.2 to 7.8 is where we want to keep it. If your pH is not in line, again, pH plus to raise it or pH minus to lower it. Very simple. Here's a couple other products. One is called Watercare. And a lot of people this time of the year, it's now spring. Their cover has taken a lot of abuse over the last 6 months of winter we've had here. And the beauty of this product, it allows you to, again, not just clean, but more importantly, moisturize and UV protect that important vinyl on the top of your cover. So pretty easy steps. Take some soap and water, clean the cover, the top, the underside, make sure you get into the stitching and that nice thick heat bumper seal down the middle of the cover. And then what you need to do with this Watercare is spray it on a sponge or a rag. Don't take this, especially on a hot day, and spray it on top of your vinyl and then try to wipe it because it could cause staining. Spray it on a rag, wipe it. You will bring that beautiful new look and luster back to that cover. So again, a fantastic product, especially now that it's spring and those covers have taken a ton of abuse. We also have a new product that came out last year called Skirt Polish. And a lot of you that have owned Beachcomber hot tubs for the last 15 years will have something called an EnviroSkirt. And again, one of the many things that makes Beachcomber hot tubs unique is our no maintenance EnviroSkirt. The beauty of the skirt polish is people are getting small scuffs and marks on their skirting. And skirt polish just helps to clean and get some of those little marks off. And it's a great new product. We've had super success in the last year with it. So again, if you're around, pick some up if you need to look after that skirting. Here's one more I want to show you. A lot of people for years have said, can I use some sort of a fragrance? Can I put some sort of a smell to my water? And we've had a number of different fragrances, the most popular being Judy in our company, which is again a Beachcomber product. Just less than a year ago, a new product came out, which is a PharmaSpa brand. And since this product has come out, it has really, really taken off. And the beauty of this is it's more of an Epsom salt. And what we've really found is people that are using it are saying they're getting a lot more medicinal advantage from using it and medicinal benefit. There's 6 different fragrances. Each one of them does something different for you and your body and your systems, like your immune system, if you're using something like eucalyptus. So please stop in and try it. I guarantee that you won't be disappointed. We now have smaller sizes as well, which you can use as samples to see which fragrance is the most popular. I want to show you one more product. It's a product that we've had for a number of years because a lot of people ask us, they say, I've had a hot tub for a while. I've got a Beachcomber hybrid. I've got this hush pump that runs 24 hours a day. As I've always told people, there's 6 things that get into your hot tub water. 5 of them float: hair, lint, leaves, grass, and bugs. And those things wonderfully get pulled out of your hot tub 24/7 when you've got a Beachcomber hybrid with that 24-hour circulating hush pump. But there are things that are heavy: dirt, rocks, pebbles, things that'll be on the bottoms of your feet, your kids' feet, that gets nestled into the seats, into the footwell of your hot tub. And people are saying, how do I get that out? We brought in a product called the Spa Vac many years ago. And this product, when it came out, it was unbelievable. We had the old system where you used to have to pump it to get some sort of a suction to it. The beauty of this product is it is simple and easy to use. And the beauty is when you actually take the actual rocks and pebbles out of the hot tub, all the water goes back and drains into the hot tub. And what you're left with is the dirt and the sand and the pebbles in here, which you'll clean out, and all the water will remain back in your hot tub again. So again, this Spa Vac is one of those great products that was brought out 10 to 15 years ago that continues to be something that people continue to use over time. All right, what I'm gonna do now is kind of move on to some of the questions. Has there been some questions out there? Oh, one question, okay. Uh-oh, we just lost our screen. How's everybody doing? All right, we've got some questions out there. Oh, here we go. Question from Steven. Steven, great question. So Steven asked, do I need Filter Pure or Cure if I'm using Filter Soak? Awesome question. So Filter Soak has taken the place of Pure and Cure. Back in the day, we used to use a 2-part product. Filter Pure was an alkaline-based cleaner that you'd put in to take out body oils, things like that. Filter Cure was an acid-based cleaner. It took out minerals, iron, copper, manganese, calcium, things like that as well. So those products are still in use today. At Beachcomber Edmonton, we haven't brought those products in because what we found is that people wanted something simpler and easier, and that's what Filter Soak That's what filter soak is today. So again, 1 hour soaking, and that's all you need. All right, I think I saw another question out there. Let's pull it up here. Oh, here it is. So what the question says, thanks Dan, it says, why are there white flakes or particles floating in my hot tub water? Hey, that's a great question. Chances are you've got something called biofilm, and what biofilm is it gets created when you have a low sanitizer level and a level that maybe stays low for a period of time. So number one, the most important thing you have to do is make sure you've got something called a Skimmore or a filter saver that'll sit over top of your basket and catch those particles before they actually get into your filter. So what you have to do first is make sure you keep that sanitizer level up. Again, the real key is that sanitizer needs to be between 3 and 5 all the time to make sure that that biofilm isn't going to start again. If you do happen to get something worse, and again, people have asked me this, and I always want to be careful talking about hot tub rashes because we've had very, very few of those types of situations over the last number of years. If you do, we actually have something that we can send you called a biofilm or Pseudomonas treatment. And what that treatment's going to entail is you superchlorinating or superbrominating your water, getting those levels way up. And then what you're going to end up doing, neutralizing them. You're going to drain your hot tub after putting in Pipe Cleanse, again, which is another product that has been very, very important. And what's going to happen is that's going to end up killing everything that is in your plumbing lines. Then you're going to drain the tub. You're going to take some 50-50 bleach and water. You're going to scrub your acrylic. You're going to scrub the underside of your cover and your filter area, anything that's come in contact with that water. And then what you're going to do is fill it again. And once you fill it, you have to make sure that you keep that chlorine or bromine level up at that 3 to 5 range, because that's going to be the most important thing that you can do to keep that biofilm from coming back again. Now, one of the things I mentioned earlier was water testing, and I know that over the years, we've had this water testing program. We have come in with a new program now. It is actually called the Spin Lab, and the beauty of this program, it's quick, it's easy, and no question what it is it enables you to be able to get an accurate reading. And we tell customers, come in once a month. Use your own test strips, and especially now with these digital test strips, you can be testing as often as you want to and make sure that you're happy with your sanitizer and everything else. The other thing is, with bringing in your water test, it also allows us to see how old your water is. And we have something called total dissolved solids. And as those solids start creeping up over 1,500, a lot of people ask us, is it time to drain? Well, obviously, if it's spring, summer, or fall, and the weather's nice, quite easy to drain the hot tub. You can drain it any time. It's when it's cold and it's the middle of winter and people are out there saying, what do I do? But what I've always said, get a pail, pull out 5 or 10 5-gallon pails of water and add some fresh water. Let's get those solids down below 1,500, and that'll make your chlorine and bromine, their lives easier to be able to keep your water maintenance and your sanitizer level and clarity of the water back up to where it needs to be. I got a question here from Stephen. It says, how often should I use my boost to keep my sanitizer levels good? Great question, Stephen. Love that question. Again, depends a lot for you based on your usage. Obviously, people have different size hot tubs. And one thing I want to mention to you, and a lot of people forget this, 2 people in a standard size beachcomber is like 200 in a swimming pool. And very quickly, you can eat up your sanitizer level. One of the things I learned many years ago when I got in this business was if your sanitizer level was at 4, and that's a perfect level to be at because we always ask for 3 to 5. If you're in that hot tub, 2 of you, every 15 minutes, it lowers your sanitizer level by 1 part per million. So what that means is after 1 hour, Stephen, you and your significant other in that hot tub, guess what's going to happen? You're now going to have your sanitizer level at 0, so it's time to add more. So the first thing I say is, number 1, toss in your Carefree Boost prior to usage. I would say at least every other day for the average person. One of the things I've said to people over the years, if you're going to have lots of people, if you've got teenagers, you're having a birthday party for the kids, and you know there's going to be 4, 5, 6, 10 little ones in that hot tub using it, get it ready before they get in and use it. Get that sanitizer level nice and high. Get it to that 5, 6 range. After they get out after 1 to 2 hours, toss another capful of your Bromo Blast, your Ultra Shock, your Carefree Boost. Get it level back up again. That way the next morning when you want to have that cup of coffee on a Sunday morning in your beachcomber hot tub, that water's crystal clear and you can have as many parties as you want. A couple other questions. Great. Question I just see here, it says, should I use the same bathing suit at home and on vacation? Great question. I've always told people you want to have two different suits. One is when you go on holidays, and two is when you're at home with your beachcomber hot tub. One of the best things you can do by doing that is making sure you're not bringing any kind of contaminant or bacteria or something from your holidays. So always have two sets of swimsuits. Another question, when's it time for a new heat shield? Well, that's a tough one because everyone's a bit different. As I've always told people, if you've got something like an airlift, you have something like a slide and store extreme or a cover remover, that's going to double or triple the lifespan of that cover. Our average cover or heat shield lasts somewhere in that 5 to 8 years. And I say it's a pretty big spread because there's a lot of people that, again, will take the cover and pull it all the way off. And the more you air it out, the more you maintain it and clean it and use products like Watercare, the longer it's going to last, no question. Another question I see here. Oh, Stephen, I'm going to go to you. It says, can you confirm a capful is 2 tablespoons, correct? Right on, Stephen. Bang on. You don't have to be using any kind of a measuring cup or anything out of the house. Use your caps. So a standard cap on a 900-gram bottle is very close to 2 tablespoons, and that's all you need, a level cap. That works perfect. Here's another question that just came in. Can you change a chlorine hot tub to a different disinfectant? Really good question. Just so everybody knows, I think we all know when we add fresh water anywhere in Canada, we're adding water with chlorine in it. And that means that once you have a chlorine hot tub, it stays a chlorine hot tub. And you can move to another product like bromine anytime. So once you're on a chlorine-based program, moving to any other program is easy. But once you're on a bromine program, for example, if you got into our Ultrasalt program or used the Bromoblast program over the last 25 to 30 years that we've had it, to go to a chlorine program, you have to drain your tub and start from scratch. So for those of you who are looking to change to a different program today and you've been on another program in the past, I've always said it's always great to start fresh. We have a great product called Pipe Cleanse, and what that Pipe Cleanse does, similar to what it does when someone buys a house and has a new jetted bathtub in it, it totally cleans all the biofilm, skin, anything that is sitting in those plumbing lines, and has you start with a brand new fresh hot tub. So Pipe Cleanse is another great product that I would use when I'm switching to something else. So yeah, please feel free if you're going to switch. We can help you out with that and get you to understand exactly what it's going to take for that to happen. All right, I'm going to take a look at another question here. Oh, here's one. It says on here, what do I do if my pH is always dropping? Well, we talked a little bit about that earlier, and the key really is total alkalinity. Again, a lot of people come in and they go through bottles and bottles of pH plus, as we call it. We have a lot of people that are coming in saying, you know, I just cannot keep my pH in line. The real key is your total alkalinity. And again, if you missed it earlier, we have a product called Resist. And again, you can either use our Watercare app strip to test that. You can come in the store, get us to do a water test through our Spin Lab, and we'll be able to tell that and get it balanced for you. Oh, Gerard's got a question. It says, I'm having trouble reducing alkalinity. He says, I've used 2 bottles of Relent in 2 weeks. Wow. Change wanted. Now it's high again. That's a good question, Gerard. That's very unique. Sorry, I don't have a bottle of Relent here because guess what? We're sold out at the West End store after this last 2 weeks of our Watercare program, our Watercare special and promotion. But Relent should bring it down. In the past, before we had Relent, we used something called muriatic or hydrochloric acid. It still can be used. You obviously have to be very careful because it is very corrosive. But what I would say, Gerard, is bring a sample and let us test it for you and see what it is. And again, not knowing for sure what program you're using right now, if you're using a drop kit, using one of the app strips or a standard 3 or 5-way test strip, we should be able to get that down. Most people with high alkalinity, it's happening because you're on well water. And again, Gerard, I don't know. And we can, again, once we're even done here tonight, if you have questions, you'll hear me say at the end, I'll get you my email address. Feel free to email any questions you have, and I will, over the next 24 hours, make sure I get to all those questions for you. And also what I'll do is we're going to try to post some of this stuff after, because I know a lot of people are going to have questions and say, hey, I missed that. Could you go back and tell me? We'll try to post this. But what I would say, Gerard, if you're on city water, we want to take a closer look at that because 2 bottles of Relent should definitely 100% bring those levels down. All right, taking a look. Is there any other questions out there? Sean, anyone else? And if you have questions, please feel free because I can now see them very easily on my screen. Oh, hey, Chris, how are you? I just saw Chris yesterday. Just add 1 cup of Resist and the pH is still low. Okay, well, you know what? What I need to do, Chris, and what you need to do is make sure that you're testing both of them. When you add Resist, let it circulate for like 15 to 30 minutes. Then what you want to do is then be able to test that pH level. And again, that 7.2 to 7.8 is the range. And very, very infrequently is if your alkalinity, and by the way, for those of you who don't know, when you do bring a water sample in, and when you get assessed. We now don't print very often. We're actually emailing these out. And the beauty of this, we're trying to become more paperless, more environmentally friendly. And on the column on the side, you're going to see all the proper levels, what you should have it, and what you should have your levels at. As I mentioned, sanitizers, 3 to 5 parts per million, pH is 7.2 to 7.8. Total alkalinity is 100 to 120. And that's the proper level to keep that pH in line. And then the last thing, which we haven't talked about yet, which I'm going to go to right now, is calcium hardness. And a lot of people have said over the years, gee, I like my water, I want it to be soft. And I say, you know what? Soft water is fantastic. The problem is it's corrosive and it foams like crazy. So we want to keep a proper amount of calcium in that water. That also helps your sanitizer and everything else to stay balanced. So 150 to 200 parts per million of calcium hardness is really key. Another question here. Oh, are we doing water testing right now? That's a great question. I know I've mentioned about water tests. Well, I'll tell you what's happened with this coronavirus and the COVID-19 scenario. We've told our staff to be very careful with water tests. I know we provided them with masks and all the proper PPE, including gloves and everything else to handle it. We have put signs in the store. We're trying not to do water samples. We're hoping that if we can, again, get ahead of the curve and slowly start getting back into allowing traffic into our stores, hopefully in the next 2 to 4 weeks, it'd be great to have it. We will continue to update people both on our website as well as on our Facebook page. And again, hopefully a lot of you, and it's great to see the numbers here tonight, hopefully a lot of you are on that Facebook page. We are trying on a weekly basis to keep everyone updated. When you do come to our stores, and we've had, I'm going to say today, probably somewhere in that 75 to 100 people come to this West End store today. It's always posted, on the store if we've made any changes. So we're hoping in the next 2 to 4 weeks to make sure that we're able to start doing water tests here in the store. Stephen had a question about, is having to add Protect to keep my hardness up normal? Yes. City water will change, by the way, Stephen. What's going to happen is certain times of the year you're going to drain your tub and refill it, and the water's going to seem softer than normal. When I got in this business many, many years ago, when I filled the tub, my hardness was somewhere in that 70, 80 parts per million, and it was close to a cup and a half of Protect to have to add. 3, 4 years ago here in Edmonton, the water wasn't soft at all. We were at 190 to 200, so we didn't add any Protect. In fact, our Protect sales basically bottomed out to next to nothing because anybody filling hot tubs with city water didn't have to add any Protect. So yes, it's normal to add it on most cases, but as I say, water will change, especially between spring, summer, and fall. So again, very important either to bring a sample in, or again, I'm going back to these Watercare app strips. They're fantastic. You'll never have to guess again because by reading the strip with your phone, it'll give you the exact amount and what to add into your hot tub. Ryan's got a great question. It says, what about using a chlorine floater rather than throwing Carefree Boost in? Okay, great question. I made a comment earlier about that. Again, people who are heavy users, if you're a heavy user of the hot tub and you really feel like, man, I am going through buckets and buckets of Carefree Boost, well, that allows you to go to a chlorine disc floater. Now, let me talk a little bit about chlorine discs and what the negative is. Well, I'm going to back up. Let's talk about the positive. The positive of having a chlorine floater is it's going to give you a level sanitizer. It might take you 2 to 3 weeks based on your usage and number of bathers going in and out of the hot tub to keep that chlorine level between 3 and 5. And obviously, the farther you open up your floating dispenser, the more chlorine or bromine is going to be put into that hot tub and be dispensed into the water. So here's the negative of a chlorine floater. The chlorine discs, whether you buy them from us or anywhere else, have a very, very low pH. In fact, the chlorine discs that we use have a pH of 3.0, which means it's very, very acidic. So the positive is it keeps your sanitizer level up and your water is clean and crystal clear and you're loving it. The downside is your pH and alkalinity are constantly going down. So you're going to have to be boosting it more. So by having a chlorine disc floater, you're going to have to use a little bit more resist for total alkalinity and probably a bit more pH plus to keep that pH up. But the advantage is, you're going to have clean, clear water. But again, the most important thing, other than sanitizing the water, is making sure we're protecting our investment and keeping it properly balanced. All right, Shelly, Sean, any other questions out there? Take a look. All right. Well, everybody, I guess I want to thank everybody tonight for being with us. This is something we're going to be doing more often now. I mean, hopefully we're going to be able to, as I mentioned, flatten the curve over this next little while and change this new normal and allow people to come into our stores on a more frequent basis. So just so everybody knows at this point, when you go to a Beachcomber store, whether it's our West End location, our South location, or our Sherwood Park location, our open signs will be on, but we've had to lock the doors. We've been in discussions with the City of Edmonton and Strathcona County bylaw officers, and they've asked us to stay close to the general public, and we've done that purposely. We wanted to make sure that we're keeping not just our customers but our staff safe, and making sure that we're not spreading this virus and making it unsafe work environment for our staff. So what you're going to see is there'll be a phone number, there'll be a phone number to text, there'll be a phone number to call, there'll be an email address of one of the staff in the store. Quickly, phone, text, or email. We'll take your order over the phone. We'll get the order. We'll take it out to the curbside for you. If you're unable to take curbside or pick it up, let us know. If someone is self-quarantined, we have done, and I'm going to probably venture a guess, somewhere in that 100 to 150 deliveries over the last 5 weeks of this coronavirus. And we love it. In fact, I delivered one out to an old customer of mine out just east of Sherwood Park. I hadn't seen him for probably 10 years, and it was great to just say hello and get him his Beachcomber Watercare products. And we are able to do that for you as well. So please let us know if you have any questions moving forward. Give us a call, email us, let us know what your concerns are. We'll look after you. Again, thank you for your patience, and again, thank you for your business. Oh, my email address. Thanks, Shelley, for that one. Any questions you have after this, please email me. Very simple. It's my first name, Warren, WARREN @Beachcomber, so our company name, .ab.ca. So Warren at beachcomber.ab.ca. I'll get back to you in 24 hours, get those answers to you. And by the way, just so you know, thanks very much. We appreciate your business. It's been a fantastic 5 weeks. We're going to continue to help our customers to get into new, again, as I said, clean, clear, and soakable water. Good night, everybody. And let's flatten the curve.